Here's a quick problem that involves complex numbers that seems to really frustrate students all the time. There's so many little things that we can get wrong. So I want to go through it very carefully so that you can avoid these mistakes yourself. All right, so I have 12 minus the square root of a negative 32 all over 8. It might be tempting to start saying, well, wait a minute, all these numbers are divisible by 4. Why can't I just reduce it? Well, we're not allowed to reduce things from underneath a radical and outside of a radical. That's number one. And number two, we have to do it exactly the same to all of our terms, all three chunks here. So let's start with simplifying that square root. So the first thing I'm going to do is say the square root of a negative means I'm dealing with an imaginary number. So my I comes out. Then I look at this number 32 and I think, well, that's a bigger number, so there probably is a square root factor in it. One way we can figure out what that factor might be is by doing what we call a factor tree. So I start with 32. I'm very methodical, and this is a way to help you organize your work. Start with the smallest thing that divides into 32. So 2 times 16. 2 still goes into 16, so let's keep with 2. 2 times 8. 2 still goes into 8, so stick with that, times 4. And then finally 2 times 2. Anytime you have a pair of factors, that represents a perfect square term. And here I have another group of 2. So that means I'm going to pull out a 2 and another 2. 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to have a 4 on the outside. The only thing that didn't get paired up is that lonely 2 that didn't have a partner. That's going to stay inside. Now, I will tell you that some people would have stopped at that first line and saw 2 times 16 and said, hey, the square root of 16 is 4, so it's 4 square root 2. That's fine. You can do it however you want. I'm just showing you a way to do it very methodically. So if I keep going down here, what that means is I have 12 minus 4i root 2 still all over 8. Now I can say, what goes into 12? What goes into 4 and 8? What's the same number I can divide all of those by? Well, the largest thing I could use is a 4. I don't care about the 2 that's underneath the square root. That's not going to be impacted at all. It's just the numbers outside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take each one of these things and divide by 4, and I'm going to end up with 3. Well, divided by 4 is 3. 4 cancels and I have just the I outside, and then reduce the 8 by 4 and I have a 2. That would be my final answer. Let me know if you have questions.